Wonder Woman 1984 is the latest film in the DC Extended Universe, and the follow-up to 2017's Wonder Woman, a movie which broke a lot of ground in how female-led superhero films were made in Hollywood. Wonder Woman 1984 is once again directed by Patty Jenkins, with Gal Gadot returning as Diana Prince, who has spent the many years since the first movie building up her reputation as Wonder Woman, acting as a sort of urban legend around the world. During this time since the first movie, Diana has become a bit of a recluse, still mourning the death of her lost love Steve Trevor. After a chance encounter with a new MacGuffin, Steve Trevor seemingly returns from the dead, leading to Diana questioning his return and the repercussions that could arise from Steve's revival, and what this new MacGuffin could mean for the rest of the world. Wonder Woman 1984 has come at a time where the real world is in pretty dire straits. COVID is keeping families from being together for the holidays while we wait for vaccines to start rolling out. We're at a time where escapism is heavily sought after, as we seek reprieve from reality, and that's what Wonder Woman 1984 sets out to do this holiday season, allowing for people in the United States to choose whether to see it in cinemas or watch it in the comfort of their home on HBO Max. In most other countries, the movie is being released in cinemas where it is safe to go. And while I wouldn't say that Wonder Woman 1984 is the movie to risk your life for, if you're in a part of the world where COVID is still requiring heavy lockdowns, it is, however, the film that could spark some much needed joy for families this Christmas, whether it be on HBO Max or in countries where it's safe to see the film in cinemas. I think it's pretty well known at this stage that in making both Wonder Woman movies, director Patty Jenkins was heavily inspired by Richard Donner's Superman movies starring Christopher Reeve. The first Wonder Woman movie saw Patty Jenkins utilize the plot structure of Superman with some clever little nods and Easter eggs thrown in. Wonder Woman 1984, on the other hand, wholeheartedly embraces the tone and spirit of the Christopher Reeve movies, allowing for a more light-hearted sequel that revels in the fun of being a superhero while teaching younger viewers the value of telling the truth and reminding us in a rather heavy-handed manner the dangers of wish fulfillment and cheating your way to success. In fact, with the sequel taking a lighter approach, the violence is so considerably toned down from the previous DC movies that I'm honestly shocked that Wonder Woman 1984 didn't receive a PG rating. Gal Gadot is obviously the star here, and while there isn't anything exactly groundbreaking about her performance in the movie, it's incredible to see just how much she's improved in the years since first appearing in Batman vs Superman. Gal Gadot still absolutely nails the look of Wonder Woman. This is easily the best that the character has ever looked on screen, with a very bright and colourful costume. But what makes Wonder Woman fascinating in this movie is in how Patty Jenkins allows for Gal Gadot to evolve in the role and give her the necessary screen time to bring one of Gal's most emotional performances to date. I've always viewed the Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot relationship as something similar to James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger's collaborations, where you have a director who recognizes an actor's strengths and shortcomings and knows how to best utilize them. Pedro Pascal and Kristen Wiig are the two big new players in this film as our villains Maxwell Lord and Barbara Minerva respectively, and while I don't think they get as much time to shine as they could have, they're considerably more interesting and entertaining to watch than the villains in the first Wonder Woman movie, as Patty Jenkins sets up Diana, Max and Barbara to be the three main pillars of the film. Pedro Pascal's Maxwell Lord feels like a long lost cousin to Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor from the first Superman movie. He's over the top and cheesy, but with some more nuance that allows Maxwell Lord to seem somewhat believable as a secretly downtrodden and misunderstood antagonist. I think Pedro Pascal does as much as he can with the character, who exists more as a plot device than necessarily being a memorable villain. The actions of Maxwell Lord in the movie offer an interesting look at how fear, uncertainty, and the pursuit of success can corrupt even those with genuine intentions, and provides at least some surface-level commentary on current political events, and some obvious but clever nods to George Orwell's 1984 novel. Kristen Wiig's Barbara Minerva, on the other hand, unfortunately gets the short end of the stick, acting as a corrupt mirror to Diana Prince, just with a fraction of the screen time and character work that Maxwell Lord receives in the film. Kristen Wiig in the role of Barbara is a fantastic choice, as it's clear that she has wonderful chemistry opposite Gal Gadot, and brings her natural comedic timing to the movie's more humorous moments. Personally, I don't think that the story in Wonder Woman 1984 is quite as strong or compelling as the story in the first movie, and lacks a lot of the emotional weight of that film. This mainly comes down to the threat in Wonder Woman 1984 being pretty lacking, especially compared to the presence of World War I that we saw in the first film. The threat in Wonder Woman 1984 certainly serves its purpose and acts as an obvious cautionary tale, but as a result, definitely lacks any real sense of danger, due to the primarily magical and dreamlike nature of the threat. This translates to the action scenes as well, which all have a somewhat floaty and clean feel to them, obviously inspired by Superman the movie, which definitely feels at odds compared to the more gritty and grounded style of action in the first film. And this is partly why Steve Trevor's return feels pretty disappointing, and more like an attempt to get Chris Pine in the movie somehow. Sure, it's great to see Chris Pine again, who still works wonderfully opposite Gal Gadot, and Steve Trevor absolutely ends up being integral to the emotional core of the movie. It just might not be the return that many people were hoping it might have been. In the eventual Wonder Woman 3, I think we'd be okay to finally move on from the Steve Trevor character, as I really don't think that there's much more that can be done with the character. This time around, Hans Zimmer has done the music for the film, which is fitting as he of course crafted the memorable Wonder Woman theme from Batman vs Superman. While that theme is remixed in some really interesting ways in Wonder Woman 1984, what makes the film a joy to sit through is how Hans Zimmer creates a more hopeful and inspiring soundtrack. Wonder Woman 1984 is far from Zimmer's most memorable score, but there are definitely some fun nods to different tracks from Batman vs Superman, as well as some interesting cues from his Inception and Gladiator scores, which are fun to listen out for. I have no doubt that Wonder Woman 1984 would have been a massive box office hit, had the pandemic not impacted release plans. Wonder Woman 1984 is a movie designed to bring people together, with plenty of big crowd-pleasing and unifying moments. As a superhero movie made to be enjoyed by families or fans of Richard Donner's Superman, I think it succeeds wonderfully, and has the potential to be a landmark film for its younger target audience. Wonder Woman 1984 is a very different movie from the first film, in both style and tone, and that's okay, because this means that Wonder Woman 3 has the potential to shift gears and tone for a completely different experience, and I find that exciting. But I just don't know if I'll be revisiting Wonder Woman 1984 anywhere near as much as I've rewatched the first Wonder Woman film. By the way, be sure to stick around for the mid-credits scene. If you are a Wonder Woman fan, you will be kicking yourself if you miss it, so definitely stick through the credits. Wonder Woman 1984 gets a 7.8 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this one, stay right here for your mono fix. Bye guys.